This is going to be a very fun, very musical, maybe we don't want to
I
get...
expect there to be a lot of music in this one. Mostly because we sing their songs all the time anyways. But now we can do it with a
Wait,
reason.
no. We sing none of the songs, and you just have to go back and listen to the other episodes to understand what we're talking about. Ha! Joke's on you. Just kidding. We'll probably...
Basically, it's all been Easter eggs leading up to this very moment.
Yes.
One podcast, two hosts, and here we go. We'll start the show right now. Thanks for tuning in to 101.3 BKMG The Farce. Coming to you live from separate places, pre-recorded. Now presenting The Bane and Mickey Show.
It was so much better the last time we did it.
That's true.
Okay.
But here we are on another one that we've also been talking about for a long ass time.
We're gonna be very... We're gonna be star kids.
Yay!
For the next...
In our dreams, of course.
45 minutes.
Holy smokes, do you have a action figure of the little pumpkin kid from
I do.
Trick or Treat?
Sam is my fucking favorite. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, that's such a wild movie too.
I haven't taken him out yet since I moved.
Good.
But
keep him in mint condition.
Oh, I mean, I've taken him out before. You can change his head. You can change what he's carrying, and his pumpkin lights up. So
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty dope. I have goals of dressing up as Sam sometime for Halloween because then I can make, like razor chocolate things and wear, big ass pumpkin.
Actually, they have,
and also wear a onesie.
They had Sam masks at Spirit Halloween last time I was there.
I'm gonna do makeup.
I'm sure it'd be better.
And put a potato sack over my head.
Well, I mean, I think we all can agree that you'd look better with a potato sack over your head, but I don't think it's really relevant.
That's fair. No, I love Sam. He is my favorite. Okay, anyways. One of my favorites. I have too many favorites. Back to the show. Actually, but before we get too far into it and never come back, Gavin, what have you been watching recently?
Well, I caught up on Harley Quinn, which is pretty good. I watched Army of the Dead. Mm-hmm. That's the Zack Snyder movie. Mm-hmm. It's decent. And I started watching Merlin and, of course, Great British Bake Off because it's on.
Yeah. I've been watching Great British Bake Off.
Are you caught up?
I am caught up. Are you?
Spoiler alert, I feel really sad for George.
Oh, yeah, I know. I didn't realize how few of them are left, though, already. Like, it's going very fast. But they're all
I really thought Lizzie was going to eat it.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know if you noticed this. I mostly thought it because, I don't know if you noticed, but this season, every time Noel has told someone they're going to stay or he's going to see him next week, they go out that episode. It happened with the first guy, and then a few episodes later, so I really thought Lizzie was going to go home.
Well, but he did, didn't he unpack George's bags or whatever?
I don't remember.
Legitly. I watched, I'd seen it before, but my friends and I watched The Addams Family, the original, not the new cartoons. I haven't seen the new cartoons.
What original? Like the Raw Julia 1991 version?
Yes.
I thought, because you say original, and I thought of the
like
old
the TV show,
60s. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not the TV show.
Sean Astin's dad.
Really? That's cool.
I mean, he's adopted, but yes.
That's cool. No, I haven't seen the TV show in so long. I need to find that somewhere.
It's on Amazon.
It is
free with ads.
Okay, well, we watched the movie, which is great. I always forget how much goes on in that movie. I also finally watched. My dreams have been fulfilled. I watched No Time to Die. That's right, Gavin. The Daniel Craig finale of James Bond. It was so good.
Was it actually good?
It was so fucking good. Okay, not only does it look beautiful, it looks so beautiful, but also it's intense. It has great performances, and he goes out with a bang.
I know.
They did a good job making it his last one. Also,
speaking of good-looking things that have Daniel Craig in them, I watched Knives Out again last
oh
night.
yeah, well, okay, I was gonna say, so Ana de Armas is in No Time to Die for like 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. She's such a badass. But it's also so fucking funny to see them together in a totally different context. But like, I don't know. She's such a badass. Rami Malek does an extraordinary job, I will say. Very good, sir. And then yeah, everyone else is just good. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I want to go watch it again. It's so
I really
pretty.
want to go see Eternals.
It's so pretty. Okay. Yes, I still need to watch Shang-Chi, so I'm behind.
Well, I'm gonna go see Eternals next weekend.
Ooh, I need to watch Dune and The French Dispatch still.
Dune is on HBO.
I know, but I don't. I want to watch it in the theater because why would you watch that at home?
Because it's free and I don't have to leave my house.
But it's meant for the theater.
But it's free and I don't have to leave my house.
Okay, Gavin. Do you have a theater at your house? I wish I had a theater at my house.
I mean, I have a decent sized TV and decent sound system.
Fair.
But I also have snacks cats and no other people around. So, perfect.
All right. Well, shall we get into it?
I think that we shall.
Underneath these stairs, I hear the sneers and feel the glares of my cousin.
My cousin. My uncle and my aunt. Can't
way
believe
back
how cruel
in
they
time.
Are. Way back in time, there was
2009.
a Harry Potter play that we all saw. It starred Darren Criss and Joey Richter and Bonnie Grusin. It was in Minneapolis, but not really.
Okay.
It actually was Ann Arbor. But that was just the armor.
2 notes.
And I'll stop singing.
I never got far enough. Okay, so I've always known Darren Criss from Harry Potter Musical. And I started to watch Glee like 5 years later so that I could get to where he's at in Glee. And I didn't make it that far. I could not stand it. So
me either. I've
only seen like a couple video clips on YouTube of him in Glee because I couldn't manage. I will always be a Starkid Darren fan. My mom also was very surprised that I was watching a Harry Potter musical, Me and My Dick and Starship, in middle school. But what can I say?
I was dating a girl who showed me them, and I've never gone back since.
Oof. I was just a Harry Potter fan, me and my friends, and we watched Harry Potter musical.
Well, I was very sheltered as a child.
That's fair.
So I wasn't exposed to a lot of things.
I was sheltered,
like, watch these,
but my friends weren't.
And your life will be much better. And then it was. So yes, way back in the early 2000s, no, in the late 2000s, early 2010s, a group of college students studying theater at the University of Michigan decided, hey, let's make a parody musical for our final project. They had no budget, they had a bunch of friends, and they had a lot of talent. So, they made a really stupid parody musical about Harry Potter. I think you mean a genius parody musical about Harry Potter.
It's very genius. But basically, it was for a class project of something, or the Matt and Nick Lang, who write a lot of the songs for Starkid, wrote some stuff for their class, whatever, and they're like, let's put on a musical. But they had like no budget. And the budget they did have was spent on getting ties, like Harry Potter ties.
I mean, even with their lack of budget, it still looks
it's so amazing.
Good.
Because also, so Nick Lang is like a puppeteer extraordinaire. So he makes a bunch of puppeteers. They all are really good at props and scenic, and they're all just very talented singers and actors. So it's very good. And the music is just genius, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan. Like, it's so good.
You're tall and fun and pretty. You're really, really skinny.
Cho-Chang! Yeah.
Nope, it doesn't work at all with your name. It just sounds dumb.
Sounds dumb. They only performed it a couple times for the school, for like classmates, but they recorded it, thank God. Where would we be without their recording? So you can still watch it, and it's amazing. And it just was a hit immediately, and they got a lot of fans and attention. And then they were able to make more. Actually, they didn't get a lot of like sponsorship and stuff for another. I think not until like Holy Musical Batman.
You know, I'm not entirely unconvinced though that they didn't have a Twizzler sponsor for Harry Potter sequel.
I'm pretty sure
sorry,
they
Red
didn't.
Vines.
I'm pretty sure they didn't, and that's the joke.
Favorite Amy Mann song on 3. 1, 2, 3. Red Vines.
Red Vines other than green.
Red Vines. Favorite way to say red wines in a German accent. Red Vines. Oh my god!
There
Red
was no
Vines.
sponsor, but they were trying to get a sponsor.
I mean, listen, that'd be a great way to get a sponsor.
Yeah. So then they did Me and My Dick, which again was another like class project thing. But
Have you seen Me and My Dick?
I have.
It took me
Not
3
for a
tries
while.
to get through it.
I haven't seen it for a while, and I need to rewatch it. But good God, it's hilarious. Also, the costumes are fucking genius. Let's be honest here. If you are a parent and you need to explain puberty and the birds and the bees to your kids,
Watch something
show
else.
them Me and My
I mean, you should probably watch something else, but because this will just confuse them, and they'll think their dick can just leave.
But the fact that they're attached by like string the whole time is fucking hilarious. Anyways,
I also just thought it was funny. I just loved like how the balls were just
yeah,
attached to their pants.
and every time they were doing, and their little beanie hats. Anyways, it's so dumb. Go look it up. So they did Me and My Dick, and then because Harry Potter musical is so popular, I mean the Harry Potter fan base is ginormous. And so they were encouraged to make a Harry Potter sequel because also
Which they did.
in the first musical they skip like Harry's first year, and so everyone was like, wait, we need to know the origins, and they're like, all right, let's do it. So they did.
That's because the Harry Potter you know is a 12-year-old superhero, and I'm just an 11-year-old child.
Would you like a delicious red vine?
Of course. Everything tastes better with red vines.
I think the sequel is my favorite. I don't know.
I would
They're both
agree.
good. I could watch either of them forever.
I
The
think
sequel
the
also got a little more budget, but not much. Again, they they kind
I
of just used
think-
what they had left over from the school.
I feel like senior year would have been better if they'd actually
If they'd been able
had
to
like a
produce it.
full stage and everything.
Stupid Darren off filming shit and whatever.
But also, to be fair, even with the relatively minimal amount of things they did, it still looks really good.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So,
A lot of people hate on the third one, but
I
considering
think
it
it's-
was at a convention, so the audience was fucking crazy. They were having mic issues, which is not their fault, and it was and Darren had literally been given the script like maybe that morning. It's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, I feel like people only hate on it because it's so not like I don't want to say slapdash together because it's not true, but
And it's
It
not
was
supposed to be a fully
like in a
produced
perfect environment.
show. They literally advertise this is not fully produced. This is us doing a stage reading. People don't understand what stage readings are unless you're part of the theater.
But still, great. Snickers.
So yeah, so they did a Harry Potter sequel and continued getting like growing their fan base. So then they had Starship, which had a pretty decent budget because the puppets in that
Oh my
one
God,
are
I love
amazing.
Starship.
I do too. Again, so okay, so I would say like Starship, Holy Musical Batman, and Twisted have a few moments that have not aged well. But they're still good if you acknowledge and step forward. Just like some of the like racist jokes and stuff in them haven't aged well, but they're still
I
good.
can't think of any.
There's like varying accents and impersonations.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
But they are very well produced, very amazing music, very well performed. They actually have. Oh no, I was gonna say later they've released a couple of their scripts, Firebringer and Trail to Oregon. You can get the rights to and perform on your own.
Well, I think after
But they rewrote some things.
Like before senior year, maybe after Starship, they started doing Kickstarters for a lot of their stuff. Let me look at their timeline again.
So at that point, Yeah, because they've always released them on YouTube in parts,
Mm-hmm.
and so they were getting a little bit of backing from YouTube. But then, yeah, they started doing fundraisers so they could get more. Harry Potter senior year was 2012. No way.
Uh-huh. I know. I didn't realize I hadn't graduated yet when that came out.
I thought I was like a senior in high school. What the fuck? Turns out I was a freshman.
I also didn't realize they were putting out these shows like consistently since 2009.
Yeah. Well,
they're doing, 1 or 2 shows every year pretty much.
Yeah, because the first 4 were still at college.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Batman was their first and that's when they got funding for it.
Batman they weren't at college. Harry Potter senior year, they were at LeakyCon. And then after that, yeah, they've just continued making them outside of Iowa? Wait, what?
No, Minneapolis or Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, Minneapolis,
but
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Oh, yeah, is where they went to school. But then they've been making shows out of Chicago. Is where most of them are based now. Yeah.
What I remember Twisted. I was really excited for Twisted because it finally got Dylan Saunders in the lead role because he is amazing. I love him.
So talented. Twisted is not my favorite. I would say Twisted and Annie are not my favorites, but like that's fine. I don't know.
I like the music in Twisted. And I think I like it probably more because I also just really like Aladdin.
Yeah.
So I think if you don't have a deep love for Aladdin, then you probably don't like Twisted as much. Mm-hmm. Kind of like how if you don't like Harry Potter, you're not going to like Harry Potter musical.
That's true. Well, I think you could still like it. You just won't understand as many of the references and jokes.
Maybe not a good pick. Starship would be a better example. Like if you don't like science fiction, you're probably not going to like Starship.
Yeah. So up until 2014, they were just doing parodies of pop culture. But then in 2016, they released their first original. I mean, they're all original, but their first original, which was Firebringer.
And that was directed by Meredith Stepien.
Who also was the lead. One of the leads. Mm-hmm. So they did Firebringer, which is about like cavemen and learning about fire.
Also one of the few times Lauren Lopez plays a woman.
Hey, we love Lauren Lopez no matter what, though.
No, definitely. I'm not going to hate on her because she's great.
Yeah, and then most recently they've started their Hatchet Field series, which it's the guy who doesn't like musicals, Black Friday, and Nightmare Time, which is like a little mini-series thing.
I've really fallen off the wagon on their shows. I really need to watch.
Fair. While they're good, they're still good. They're not as much of my favorites as like Holy Musical Batman and Harry Potter, and like the guy who didn't like musicals and Black Friday. I don't know. Like, they're fine, but they're not my favorites.
I think it's a combination of they were younger. It's like we've talked about with a lot of things. They don't have the budget, so they're a lot more creative, it feels like. And it doesn't feel as much like they're doing this for popularity and money.
Yeah, now they're doing it for fun.
And I feel like they are doing it because they love it and because they want to do it and it's fun.
Yeah.
But there's also that aspect of like we have to get paid and do the paying of places. So it's harder, I feel like.
Now it's a career, and which is fair because also, this is also them trying to create theater when they can't find theater themselves or, to arts to work on themselves, which is what you have to do in the arts. If there's something you want to do and it's not available, you got to go make it yourself. Which is like...
Well, and I think that's part of their brilliance is like they're not waiting for their opportunities. They're literally creating them.
Yeah.
And I feel like as talented as they are, and they could all do really well on Broadway because they're amazing actors. But I feel like that they're choosing to still do a lot of them, even if it might not necessarily pay as much. But I still feel like they're popular and they have a lot going on because they also do like tours of music and stuff that. They do reunions.
Yeah, they do. They've done so many tours. They've done various reunions, and then they also, they have little web series and stuff. And it's like they don't always have to get the whole gang back together to do those things. They usually have like 4 or 5 of the of some familiar faces, which is great. And then get together to do it. But it's also like, so, not all of them are in Chicago anymore. So to do a show with a bunch of fan favorites and Starkid family, they have to fly them in and house them. And then, half of them are over down in LA now. And so they have to figure that out. Or if you're like Darren Criss and you go and you do film and television, you get really super busy. So then they have, it's hard to fit in some of those folks.
Right. But, I still feel like you get a lot of the same ones. You get Dylan, you get Matt Lang, Nick Lang.
You usually get Joey
AJ
Richter,
Holmes, Jeff Blim, Lauren Lopez.
Yeah. Brian Rosenthal, Joe Walker.
I feel like I haven't seen the guy with Joe Moses.
Oh, yeah, we haven't seen Joe Moses for a while.
Heard him as much.
Matt and Nick Lang are usually, at least one of them is involved in the writing. Oh, who's the guy? Is AJ the guy that does their... No. Who's the guy that does their...
AJ helps with the music, but you're probably thinking of AJ Holmes.
Is that AJ?
Gilderoy? He's Gilderoy.
Oh. Is he the guy that... Is he also the guy in... Yeah, is he in Firebringer? He plays the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that is AJ.
Or maybe you're thinking of Chris or Matt Clark Backstresser.
Clark. Yeah, I'm thinking of Clark.
Because he does this... he does the album Harry Potter, which was lame. Not because he's a bad singer. He's a good singer, but it's not Darren Criss.
I just like him in the... in Firebringer, where he just comes off of the... Anyways, I love how they incorporate their band into the shows a lot. It's pretty funny. The band is usually on stage. It's always live, but it's usually on stage or just partially off stage, but you can always see it. And they always include it, like, either if they're just, like, nodding over to them or doing some improv that involves them. Or
like in Harry Potter musical when Ron is hitting with the sword.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. He's like, oh, thank you.
Ding.
I think it's
when he needs a snack
in Firebringer where Clark is back at the piano and he's like talking to her and she's like, wait, yes, I'm part of the band now. It's great.
Yes, amazing. It's all.
And then they also always include the audience too, like they're running through the seats or something.
Yeah, they really started that with Twisted.
Yeah.
No one remembers Ahmed.
But yeah, I mean, we listed quite a few of the players already. Who haven't we talked about? You also have Bryant Holden, Jamie Lynn Beatty, Jim Polo, Devin Little,
Jamie Lynn Beatty,
which we haven't really seen Devin in a while since Harry Potter.
I don't know
right?
what she's. I follow her on Instagram. I don't know exactly what she does, but she always posts these videos of her doing
like. Oh my gosh, we
like pole dancing.
Oh, nice.
She's really good.
Yes. There's quite a few people involved. And they always they've added people over the years. Especially as more folks have been unavailable.
Stick around a ton. I feel like the only one I've noticed that really has stayed was Candy Sweet Tooth.
Yes.
Shit, what's his name?
Oh my gosh. You don't have him on here.
There's no way I don't have him on here. He was one of the first people I thought of. Oh my god, do I not have Sweet Tooth on this list?
What's his name?
Oh my gosh. He was Aladdin.
He's the dad in Jell, Oregon.
I cannot remember his name. Jeff Blim. He's a great addition to the whole
I'm glad that he's stuck around because he came in during Holy Musical Batman, and then did he come back for Twisted?
Yes, he was Aladdin. I just said that.
Okay. So then he came back for Twisted, and
I feel like he's been around pretty much ever since.
Been around.
Tyler Brunsman.
Yeah. So he's been a great addition for sure.
Also, Chris Allen, who was one of the original Starkids.
Yeah.
He was in their first web series. Have you ever watched Little White Lie?
No, I haven't actually.
It was actually pretty interesting. I kind of wish they'd made more. Because they ended it on sort of a cliffhanger, but I still would have liked more.
Did you watch Movies, Musicals, and Me?
I did not know.
That's pretty.
The last thing I watched
Those are some pretty good singles in terms of parody music. It's pretty good.
The last one I watched was with you when we watched The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals at one time at Central, but I haven't watched anything since.
You should watch Black Friday.
All right.
Black Friday is really good. They bring back their puppetry, which is great. They've always got amazing production members, which I don't have like any of them listed. But
I feel like Joe Walker also. I would love to see something where like Joe Walker and, well, I guess Holy Musical Batman has Joe Walker and Jeff Blim a lot of the time.
Oh, they would be. Oh my gosh, yeah.
But them as like an actual duo.
Yeah, that would be. That would be amazing.
Just they both have sort of that like.
Starkid, listen to this podcast and take our advice. We need Joe and Jeff together. Thank you.
Listen, I know that you guys seem to know what you're doing, but as fans,
we also know what we're doing. No, we don't.
We know slightly less how to do your business, okay?
But we are both filmmakers, and I am also a theater person. So
I am also a theater person.
You know, if you need to hire people, I'm kidding.
Listen, if you want to hire two young studs out of Washington State, we will happily move to Chicago with you. We know another guy down there.
Oh my God! Actually, I have friends who are moving over to Chicago. And they were trying to convince me to come with them. And I'm like, guys, we can't all just move to Chicago.
I was thinking of Noah.
No, I know. Yeah, Noah is over there. And then I have a couple other Central people who are planning on moving over there.
Lame.
And they're trying to get me to go. I'm like, guys, we can't all just... We could, but we can't. I don't know.
Do it. Go to Chicago. Live our dream. Go be a star kid.
Go audition for Starkid.
Go be a star kid.
Yeah. What's your favorite musical of all of them? I guess you.
I feel like.
Maybe, but...
Which one?
You've talked about Twisted.
Oh, I mean, I really like Twisted. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I just like the music, and I mean, I like any sort of other perspective, especially if it has any kind of merit.
Yeah.
Not Cruella. You know, if it's like, it just shows like sort of the other side of. The flip side of a coin.
Yeah.
But I would say, I mean, Harry Potter sequel is really good. Starship is really good.
The production of Starship is so amazing. Just the production design. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's talk about Starship for a minute.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing.
Some people don't like it because it's puppets, but I think it's just brilliant that way.
It would have been terrible if it wasn't.
They're so talented.
And also, like,
to be able to do that.
Parodying Starship Troopers.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is on a bug planet.
Yeah, so it's like... I think if they all dressed as bugs, it wouldn't be the same, you know?
It'd look terrible. Terrible.
And, like, some people are just not accustomed to watching puppets. So, you know, they're like, who do I watch, the actor or the puppet? And I'm like, well, watch the puppet.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, you can watch both because they're embodying both, but I think it's just amazing. Also, the mechanics of the puppets, especially Bug, how he's like attached by like 4 or 5 limbs. It's so cool.
I think it'd be really interesting, and then like the way they do Pincer, where it's like 4 different people.
Yeah, well, I love their giant puppets. Like you have the same with the dragon in a Harry Potter musical, where it's like 5 people. And
the basilisk.
The beast in Firebringer. It's like multiple people, and it's like to first of all to coordinate and then choreograph and make sure everyone's doing, because like one person could be doing a single eye, but then you have to coordinate with the other person who's doing the other eye or doing the claw or the mouth. It's like amazing.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if they somehow got to mix with Jim Henson?
That would be so cool.
Oh my God.
They could oh my gosh, a Jim.
That'd be amazing.
Henson.
Darren Criss was in that Muppet Christmas Carol thing I saw.
Oh yeah.
I didn't watch it, but he's in it. Not the point. The point is, Starship is really good, and if you hate it, you're done.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love... Also, it's got some good music.
It does. And, I mean...
And a good story.
And I think that was probably... might have been the first one with Meredith in it.
I think so.
As Mega Girl.
Yeah.
Tootsie Mega Girl.
That's
on account of my occasional toots and noodles.
Yeah, because she wasn't in either of the first Harry Potters, and then she came for the third one. Even though I may look different, I'm still the same old Hermione you all know and love.
And that was only because Bonnie Grusin found religion and left.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I heard. That's fine.
She just wasn't available to join.
But they actually had the real Levana Lynch.
Yeah, that was so cool. To have her come in as well.
Taz. I think that was Lauren Lopez's first female role. Oh, no, she was in Me and My Dick.
Hold on.
But it's real good. I think Starship might be one of my favorites.
Starship is, yeah. Do you have Corey? Oh, yeah, you do have Corey Doris listed on here. Corey Doris is also one of my favorites. When he's playing the wizard cop, he's wizard cop, motherfucker.
We're the wizard cops, motherfucker.
And then who else does he play? He plays Maddox?
Kingsley.
No, Kingsley. Yeah, no, when he plays Kingsley is amazing. And then when he's in fucking The Trail to Oregon as the grandfather. and also the henchman to the bad guy.
You see this a lot in Holy Musical Batman because there's only 12 cast members, but a lot of the time they're playing double, triple, quadruple duty.
I love Trail to
characters.
Oregon because it shows Joey Richter's range because he's playing like 12 people. That one scene where he switches like between 6 different people. It's so funny also. It's so hilarious adding that to it. And you see this also, we'll get into them later, but in the Tin Can Brothers, which is like their sister branch, they do this a lot as well, just because they have often less cast members, like less than 10 usually. So you do. But I think that just makes it fun, especially if you're playing like an ensemble role, to just run around and switch characters, like, you know.
Right. I think, yeah. Everybody in Holy Musical Batman plays at least one other person.
Well, because they all play a villain at some point. And all of them play a hero at some point as well.
Well, they all are a hero at the end.
At the end, yeah. And then they're all just townspeople. Welcome to TGI Fridays. Oh my gosh. Holy Musical Batman has to be one of my favorites. It's so dumb, but so amazing. So many good references, and then it's so chaotic. Oh, and this is the one of,
have you ever heard of Mr. Mxyzptlk? No, because I do my damn job.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a great musical that celebrates why Batman is cool, but also why he's kind of lame and overrated.
Yeah, no, it's great. We also see, so Nick Lang usually is on stage as a puppeteer in like the Harry Potter ones, but in Holy Musical Batman, we actually see him playing a human when he plays Robin.
Rat-a-tat-tat. Rat-a-tat-tat. Why? What's wrong with our patella tendons?
My favorite part is when they're during Dynamic Duo, the song, and they're beating up the people like pow, 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 pow. They just don't stop. And then it's like,
or when he
back to
and then he sticks the gushers in his underwear.
Yeah. Oh,
I like these.
No, Robin, no.
I don't like these.
I'll save them for later. Yeah, all of them in their like superhero underwear outside of the spandex. It's amazing costumes.
And the use of Twitter. Some guy's on Twitter and he just tweets about how dumb I am. Some asshole named Bruce Wayne.
Because someone already took Batman, so I have to be the real Batman, which makes it seem like I'm not the real Batman.
The real Superman.
I'm Bruce Wayne. I mean
Batwin.
Wait,
fuck. I'm Batman.
So good.
Quan Lee. This looks like a job for Quan Lee.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Also a little racist, but that's...
Yeah.
It's a thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. My friends and I, though, so yeah, so you can get the rights for Firebringer and for the Trail to Oregon, and we want to put on one and or both of those shows. Because it would
Do them
be
simultaneously.
fun.
Put them
Simultaneously
together.
at the same time. When you're off stage on one, you're on stage on the other.
That would be pretty cool, actually. Can you imagine like a back-to-back stage? Oh, imagine if it was like we actually had this when I was at CBC, but they have an outdoor stage.
Uh-huh.
But it's literally like against where the indoor stage is. So
Oh.
imagine you're doing one inside and one outside,
But
and you're
is
just
it pretty
switching in between.
soundproof, I suppose, then? If it's one's fully
It's
inside
got
and
a
one's outside? So
big ass concrete wall in between.
So it could work.
It could, in theory,
Could,
work.
in theory, work. Wow.
But that would be pretty dope.
That would be
Can
amazing.
you imagine?
But then also because some parts are on stage for
Simultaneous
longer than
shows.
others, like if people are playing different characters throughout, because
It's like a 30 cast, but they just literally keep rotating out,
just
and they're
running
playing different people.
running in circles in like around the thing.
That's the ultimate acting exercise.
That's like a couple like improv games where you like go off, but then you have to come back on as like the next person. So you could do that, like you run off stage right, and then you go onto the outside stage, run off stage left, and have to come back on as whoever's next in the scene, no matter what.
And you all have to know, you have to know
like,
all the lines,
whole
basically.
lines. Oh my gosh, it's crazy and insane. They could do it. It would be awesome. So we have Starkid based out of Chicago, but you know what? Also, we have, if Starkid wasn't enough,
The Tin Can
the
Brothers.
Tin Can Brothers. Brr-do. So, in like, I guess, yeah, I think after they graduated, so like in 2012, some of them went down to LA, and decided to live the LA life. Specifically, Corey Lubowich, Joey Richter, and Brian Rosenthal all moved out and were roommates, and they were just making like YouTube sketches, which just dumb little like 5-minute videos, which they're pretty funny. I still watch some of them because they're just funny and stupid. But then they were like, hey, let's write a musical, because why not? And so they wrote Spies Are Forever, which is a parody, like a James Bond parody, basically. And they did a lot of, because they call themselves a sister company now of Starkid. So they got a lot of fans from Starkid. You know, they like dual promoed, and then they got a lot of backing for Spies Are Forever, so they could fully produce this musical. It's actually really good, like really well done. And they performed it in LA. I think actually later they did tour and go and do a show in Chicago, like a year later. But since then, they've done a couple more. They've done the Solve It Squad, which was like a Scooby-Doo parody. They did Flop Stoppers, which is like a comic book parody. And then they did their like Wayward Guide web series. They're also working on another one. Actually, both are working on 2 musicals right now.
Starkid's working on Nerdy Prudes Must Die.
Yeah, and Tin Can
I'll have
Brothers
to catch up before then.
is working on This Could Be on Broadway. But with Tin Can Brothers, they usually bring back some Starkid faces. Usually whoever's available, because again they are based in LA. So, but like they've had Joe Walker and Lauren Lopez. Dylan Chris and Dylan Saunders appeared a couple times, mostly for their web series ones, not their shows. Corey Lubowich has worked like behind the scenes on a couple Starkid things, but he's usually behind the scenes or directing. AJ Holmes has come in as a couple, and so has Jamie Lynn Beatty. But I don't know. It's kind of fun to expand your company like that, kind of like, I mean, originally it wasn't, but now they just are, because they're all friends and whatever. But you know, it kind of expanding your craft and being like, yeah, like we want to bring back our friends and people like our friends, so we're gonna keep using them. But they've also included new people, like Tessa Netting has joined. They've used Talkfine to help with their music, like for Flop Stoppers and Spies Are Forever. Talkfine is fairly popular on YouTube, I believe. And yeah, I don't know.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know anything
Have
about
you
it.
seen any of the start of the tin? You should watch Flops. Oh, we did. I did show you a couple bit of Flops.
We watched a little bit.
You should watch them. They're good. They're the same quality and style of Starkid, like with a little bit of personality on the boys, but like.
Yeah, I want to check it out. I'm also just lazy.
That's fair. I mean, you do have to take a good couple hours out of your day to do it. Some of them are still separated into parts, so you can watch them part by part on YouTube if that's more encouragement.
That is a nice thing about a lot of their shows is recently they've been putting the shows like all together.
Uh-huh.
Like they have full versions, but then you can watch it in parts. That's easier.
Yeah.
Which is a nice thing.
Usually see, because it used to be that you would have to watch an ad for every part, but now YouTube puts ads in between long videos, so you're gonna end up watching ads anyways.
Unless you don't pay for them, which is so stupid.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. But they do at least make playlists, so you can just watch them all the way through if you want to. But the most annoying part is when an ad comes up in the middle of a part, and you're like, dude, just wait 2 more minutes until the part is over.
I know. I wish that they timed ads better on these things, so it was like in a natural break and not just whenever the hell they want. Whatever.
They do have to, they're like obligated to do it after like 10 minutes or something. It's stupid.
What was nice though is I watched something on Peacock and I don't pay for it. But it has ads, but it played like 3 minutes of ads before the movie and then never again.
Nice. I like when they don't play ads during movies, like Hulu doesn't play ads during movies, but anyways, we're not talking about Hulu and Peacock. We're talking about Starkid.
Because they're way cooler and better than Hulu and Peacock. So
yeah.
If there was a Starkid streaming service, I was going to say,
Starkid is mainly on YouTube. Tin Can Brothers is on YouTube, but they've also released like Spies Are Forever on their website. Tin Can Bros has a website and a what's that one thing called? The one backing site, Patreon. And so you can get like a couple of theirs on DVD with like some behind the scenes, but Starkid hasn't done that yet because there's so much. They have.
Yes,
maybe?
They have a website. They have a website with all their shows, and they do have merch. But not all their shows. Not all their shows are available on DVD, but some of them are.
Some of them are.
Their Starkid reunion is. A lot of their albums are. So
I do like that Starkid posts quite a few things. Like they have all their reunions and stuff. I mean, so that you can watch them, or watch when they all like go back and watch Starkid and stuff. And they're pretty consistent with keeping up like updates and stuff. I
mean, like we said, they usually get at least one show a year.
Yeah.
Sometimes two.
Yeah.
If you're lucky. Any final musings?
I don't think so. I mean, it's also good, interesting, and cool to watch since they've all been doing this for over 10 years. And also started when they were students in college. It's cool to watch their growth and like how much they've improved. Even like nothing was ever bad to begin with, but just like still positive improvement as they've continued their craft and continued on as artists. It's really cool to watch, especially also seeing with their popularity growing and their backing growing, how they've been able to improve their production. Yeah, I mean, the shows are Broadway quality. Chicago has a pretty good theater scene. It's not Broadway theater scene, but it's as good as it gets outside of Broadway, and it's really good, especially for an independent company to be putting on. You know, like they don't have a consistent theater to work out of. They have a theater they try to work out of, but you know, it just depends on if they can get the space rented compared to when other people are using it.
And I think what's also nice is like they are Broadway quality, but I'm also glad that they're not on Broadway, sort of. Mm-hmm. Just because I feel like it'd be the same reason, like, you know, an independent thing gets picked up by a big studio and then it gets
they haven't like paid out or whatever, you know, they're keeping their integrity and their independence and personality to it, because if someone else picked it up, it would be, I mean, it could change a lot. And also because they're parodies, you know, they might not be able to do some of
that too.
stuff they'll do. I do like though that they've started to move away from parodies in such a specific sense and more of like a broad sense, like Trail to Oregon or Firebringer, Spies Are Forever from Tin Can Brothers. Like it's a lot more original content with just like a general like this is a parody on spy films, you know,
a parody homage.
Yeah, which allows them a little bit more of the independent content and ability to like publish and produce and whatever without having to bother about copyrights as much.
Right, and that's one thing that is nice, and sort of that's maybe also part of why they're not anything mainstream. But it seems like are able to like take care of all their shit. So.
Yeah, well, and then again with growth, like they've moved away from parodies and have started making originals with like their Hatchetfield series, which is really cool to see that growth of being like, oh, now you're confident and so talented that you're making new stuff, which could eventually maybe eventually one of them writes a thing that goes on Broadway or something, or is toured or whatever, right. which is cool.
Great job, Starkids.
Yeah. Yeah, the writing is very simple but very brilliant. So cheeky and like so smart in like their wording and their lines and their homages and references. It's
kind of like Always Sunny a little bit, where like the dialogue is not complex, but it's also its own kind of genius in its own way. Like it's simple, but it's very effective and hilarious.
It's very smart. It's very smart. And you put it well here, where that maybe they're not a huge mainstream success, but they do have a little niche that reaches the right people that are looking for that content or that enjoy that content. Like they know who they're creating content for, and so it always consistently is positive and successful. And I think
that's another thing I think is like if they were picked up by something like Broadway, might have to appeal to a wider range, but this way they don't have to.
Yeah, for sure. And they're
great. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, we both grew up with them in our mid to late adolescence, and so I think also that being like kind of growing with them, but then also like experiencing like there are plenty of people.
You're talking about. I'm still in my adolescence.
I mean, adolescence technically is until you're 25.
Yep, still there.
So
except for sort of not.
But like I still introduce Starkid and Tin Can Brothers to people. And so they have to go back and catch up on all these musicals, whereas like growing up, they were coming out as I was growing up. So it was like, I don't have to catch up on them, but so it's different, but it is still something that you can catch people up on. And you don't even have to watch all of them, to be honest. Like just watch the ones you're interested in.
You don't have to, but you definitely should.
But you should. Yeah. Because they're all great. Yeah.
They're all great in their own way.
And if you're not going to watch all of it, just ask someone for the best scenes or the best music, the best songs or whatever, and they'll walk you through.
Yes.
That stuff.
Yes. Shall we randomly topic time?
Oh, yeah. Wait, relevant topic. If you could write a musical on a parody musical on any subject, what would
I would love to see them. Maybe I think they would. I don't know if I could do it as well, but like a Hobbit or Lord of the Rings musical. I would love that.
That would be really good. I was gonna say like Jurassic Park, but also I would love to see some like horror movies. Like let's get like a Poltergeist like musical or like Alien. Friday the 13th.
A Friday or Nightmare on
or Halloween. Like I just want Michael to have a solo song where actually I think so. If you watch musicals and me, I don't think they have a Halloween one, but they have like a Home Alone one, which is pretty good. They have a Castaway one. They're like so stupid and funny. It's like very parody singles. They're great. And AJ Holmes sings all of them. Okay. Random topic time now.
Random topic time.
If you opened a food truck, what would you sell?
I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I don't know. I'd have to find something that I could make well first. I make food okay. I would have to think of something that I can make well with a reasonable quickness, but also with the limiting confines of a food truck.
That's fair.
Like sandwiches and hot dogs and burgers and stuff.
Yeah. Jack and Tina and I have talked about this because Jack was like, "Hey, let's start a shave ice truck," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, but also, what if we sold bubble tea?" And then Tina's like, "What if we sold churros?" So we're like, "Let's sell a bubble tea churro shave ice truck," and then we created like a triple decker layered like it's bubble tea, but on top is like a separate container, like those yogurt things where they have the granola in a separate one, and that's where the shave ice is. But then your straw is a churro. Anyways.
I think about it a lot. I've always wanted to have a food truck.
It would be fun. I think it would be kind of crampy, though.
A little bit. Well, that's why you only have, 3 or 4 people at work.
Yeah, that's true. Or you do one of those ones where it's, partially outside, but then you have to set up outside every day.
Well, there's a few places in Portland that are, it's like a fenced area, the one I went to. And there's 10 food trucks.
Yeah, they have one of those also, not in Portland, but in what's the one right across the border?
Beaverton?
No, it starts with an A. I don't know, but Oregon has quite a few
land.
No, but okay. Yeah. I think seriously, on my own. I would maybe sell, I don't know, pasta. Maybe varieties of pasta.
Kind of like that little one kiosk thing in Central, but
under
food truck.
Yeah, but it could be anywhere from mac and cheese to ravioli to bow
There
tie.
is a mac and cheese food truck.
Amazing. That sounds great.
See, that's the thing. I feel like you either need to be sort of general in your food truck, or
very specific.
Very specific, or you have ethnic food.
Yeah.
Like Thai or Mexican.
I want to go to a food truck now.
All right, we're going to go to a food truck, guys.
All right, see y'all later.
Hope this made you hungry.
Next week. Why do we always end podcasts with... It's the stupid random topics. They all involve, food-related topics. Anyways, I actually am going to go get lunch with some people, so... But we're not going to
idiots.
A food truck, unfortunately.
Well, then you should take them to a food truck.
Okay, maybe. Okay. Well, we'll see you all next week. In the meantime, catch up and watch all of Starkid. So
Watch
when we
them.
come back next week, you know exactly what we're talking about. You have 14 musicals. Well, 13 musicals to catch up on. One that's coming up. 3 web series. And if you want to watch Tin Can Brothers, you have 3 musicals and 2 web series, plus some sketches to watch. So it's doable. As long as you don't work and you don't leave your room. All right.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Have a good week. See you later.
No, don't forget to share, subscribe, share with your friends, give us a rating. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram at the Bane and Mickey _podcast, on Twitter at Bane and Mickey. And find us wherever you get your podcasts or at baneandmickeyshow.buzzsprout.com.
That's right. Okay, almost forgot about that. Anyways, do all those things. Share if you like this episode. Share it with a friend. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Red vines. What the hell can't they do?